Hello, everybody. Welcome to Duluth, Minnesota, as we are joined with what looks to be the Black Lounge bar. It's a popular martini bar, actually, in Duluth, of all things. Charlotte has been she sent word to the former Wormfoe, known as Shadow's Web. However, today he has sent a message back. Once she kind of sent all these things to be clued in on, she received a very formal message, very formal email, actually. Encrypted to all shit, so when it opens, it translates and then is gone, as if in the blink of an eye. So when you eventually head in, you say you're looking for a Mr. Vasilov, and you are immediately brought up to what looks to be a private lounge bar room, much like this, funky, out of the way. There is a drink put in front of you. Everything is quite, it's a refreshing pace compared to some of the frigid north that you've been dealing with, really, to be honest.
It's like the absolutely perfect opposite.
Mm-hmm. And the door eventually swings open, and you see these two bozos walking in.
Oh, my favorite
She's in
bozos.
siege engine with the hair slicked back and obviously not carrying a rifle and perfectly much the same. Not as much combat gear as they usually are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Charlotte might actually be paranoid at this point enough to take a whiff, just like see what the drink is. But honestly, she's not gonna think too hard about it, and we'll probably be sipping it by the time the other two come in,
It's
lifting a
pretty
hand,
nice.
just
It's a pretty nice
cordially.
pretty nice martini.
Fuck it. This is everything that she hasn't had for the last however long she was up there, however fucking long it was. So no, you know what? She is going to take a chance and start to relax a little bit into her seat, and as the other two come in, we'll kind of do the pick up a hand, do the little wave, like oh hey,
Yeah,
essentially.
siege engine plonks himself down. He has a beer in his hand and perfectly has some weird little green neon concoction in her hand. It's fairly funky looking. Siege will be the first one to turn and say, "Oh, so you're being clued on these now as well."
Guess so.
Ah, well, you did freeze your bollocks up on the north, so we gotta have to include you sometime.
I mean, if that didn't earn it, I don't want to think of what would.
True, true. With a shrug, looks over at Perfity, who's again sporting the little brace on her arm as she takes a sip. Suppose. Everyone else has been so mobile.
No pile.
Well, yeah, the Shadow Lords are advancing quite aggressively.
How's that?
Oh, they're fucking everywhere. Looks over at Siege Engine with a smirk on her face, and he just ruffles the back of his kind of shaved side head.
I mean, I knew they were spreading out, doing their shit. I didn't. To be fair, I'm not even sure where all the lines are.
Oh, they're there, but they keep crossing them. Very fucking eager.
Huh.
Something's really put a firecracker under their ass lately.
I mean, they did get hit pretty fucking hard.
Yeah, well, they're pretty fucking ruthless at this point.
Were they not before?
They're cautious, more controlled violence. Now they're just straight up executing Spiral Kitten they find.
Probably the better point of valor at this point.
They could have been used for questioning.
She just kind of shrugs. You sure they're not questioning him first?
Anton isn't.
I bet he's not.
No, he usually plugs them right in the forehead and walks off. Vincent's been questioning them from what I hear. Looks over at Siege Engine. Vincent does. Anton usually kills the ones he finds. Quick, quiet. Nobody fucking hears him. Vincent questions him. Undergrowth probably already knows anyway, knowing him.
Probably.
But it's been pretty tense. As the door opens again, these two walk in.
The eyebrows pop just the tiniest bit, like, oh. She will nonetheless give a polite nod to both.
Carve just saunters in as Carves do.
Like you do with the fanciest drink.
Oh yeah, fanciest martini. Runs just sits there awkwardly with that kind of, Long Island iced tea with the fucking weird like plant thing you see people eating it with, those type of things.
Got the little umbrella and everything.
Yep. Well, how do you do, ladies and gentlemen?
Evening.
Seems everybody's been gathered here. After all, I did get asked to set up this place as he plonks himself down. Runs just kind of sits awkwardly by Perfidy. Tries to interact with Perfidy, just stares at him, he stops interacting.
Guess so.
So how do you do, Charlotte Sullivan?
Hey.
Just an eyebrow raise. Oh, well, you're being pleasant to me. That is something else.
I have learned valuable lessons about how many bigger problems we have.
Oh, then little old me. There's an eyebrow raise.
And to be fair, I was probably just being fucking spiteful.
Ah, well. Couldn't be much worse. You could be hollow. Let out a wink as he takes a sip of the martini. Like,
she does the most, and it's not, he can tell. This isn't like eye roll because you said it. This is just eye roll because that is a thing that happened in the world.
Takes note of it and just nods that to himself, like, huh, interesting,
It's like, yeah, could be. Sips martini.
Well,
sips it a little hard, like, Jesus fuck.
I do commend your boyfriend's attitude when buying property.
No?
Yeah, he came to me for advice.
That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Smart move.
Oh, indeed. I got him a good deal that he could spend his money on. After all, I made sure it was to your fine tastes.
There's a vague smirk. And truth be told, I feel like you probably made sure it was on the right side of town, too.
Oh, well, of course. I was hardly going to put you in the middle of bandit country now. I am many things, Charlotte, but I'm not a bastard.
She just tips up the martini glass, like, much appreciated.
Oh, indeed. That's a wink as he sips. Besides, you're in my territory over there, so we are always in the neighborhood, aren't we? Aren't we, Runs? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, neighborhood. Takes a weird, awkward bite of that plant thing. You see some people like it's like one of those drinks you dip it in, and he takes a weird bite out of it.
What are you doing this like you do with a Bloody Mary and a stalk of celery? What the fuck?
That's what he's got. Yeah, that's what he has. His stock. That's basically what he has.
Is it in a Long Island iced tea, or is it at least in a Bloody Mary?
No, it's in a Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, she just glances over and tries to nod to him seriously, but oh my god, what is he doing? She's still got a quirk of a grin going because you know what? Carves can be kind of a bastard sometimes, but he's pretty fucking charismatic. And you know what? This is so much better than getting threatened at every turn. She never appreciated how much nicer this was.
I take it you're realizing what we're all here for then, Sullivan, or have you not figured it out yet?
Well, if I guessed wrong, I guess I'll figure it out by the end of the talk, right?
Oh, well, that is an attitude to take it, I suppose.
She shrugs.
Rolls his eyes a bit like, huh. Turns around, so tell me. Leans over. Those eyes kind of glisten a bit.
The eyebrow kind of quirks up ever so slightly. She doesn't lean away, though.
So tell me, Charlotte Sullivan. I heard your pack split ways.
Oh, it did.
How'd you feel about that? I know you all went up north like a bunch of crazy heathens, but you all came back relatively fine. Did some good work from what I hear.
I do try to
How you
always do good work, and splitting the pack was intended from the get-go.
how you feeling about it though? All that weight and pressure must have taken a toll on your poor body.
It does.
I bet.
Man, you can tell, like, she's still more relaxed than she's been in a week or so, but she's kind of watching him, like, trying to read the expressions, like, not tense, not hella suspicious, just trying to
Just
keep
that
pace.
such an innocent little smiley eyes, Katie. Oh, we were all very worried. After all, dividing a pack and separating means less numbers. But then again, from what we also been hearing, maybe you did make the right choice in the end.
I think I made the choice that was the best for the both of us.
Oh, indeed. It appears so. But then again, word does travel different ways. But I suppose you already know what I know anyway.
Well, if it involves me, I'd like to think so.
Oh,
But
Katie,
it's always nice to know what people are saying.
you know that carved smile that you recognize all too fucking well?
Oh, yeah, she wants to fucking know what he's on about. She's trying not to just leap on the bait. Trying to play it fucking smooth and casual, but
Oh
she's
well, I
curious.
suppose you already know. Anyway, you're such in the know about these things, and particularly with the relationship y'all have. I mean, I'm just preaching to the choir over here. You notice he's almost deliberately sat you away from the other Glasswalkers. His runs has provided the perfect distraction with his awkwardness.
Yeah, she is taking in the strategy here. Suppose we'll never know if I know if you don't tell me what you're on about.
Oh well, I figured you'd tell me. After all, you seem to know so much compared to me these days.
That's so. There's like a blatant skeptical, like, I know I don't know more than you. Now you're just being fucking coy. Like,
Oh well. I mean, from what I hear, you like to tell everybody about what you feel. So what can a man do? But then again, hmm, I figured you would have heard. I figured if a certain duo from a certain pack would have sat you down and told you, all eyes are rolling in the back of your head stressing about it. But what you don't know is, oh, Charlotte, you don't even know yet.
and she's still just kind of watching him, amused, and like still got the eyebrow up. Like, I'm just waiting to figure out which thing she got hit with so much so fast on getting back. She's just like the casual martini slip, or God, martini sip, and she's like, well, I seem to be doing a lot of not knowing. You want to clue me
Well,
in?
I'm gonna clue you in with a question, Charlotte.
Do
Think you
tell.
can answer it? How can you see what's coming for you if you only got one eye?
Hell of a question, really.
Indeed.
Hope you're real
Yeah.
good with the other one, I suppose.
Oh, well, if you only have one eye, it's hard to see what's on your left or your right. And let me tell you, the creepy thing is, it's not from where she thinks it's gonna come.
Not so.
Well, apparently not. But then again, I hear so much whispers lately.
And she kind of like idly trolls the martini glass for a second. Truth be told, Raya, it could come from almost any direction, and at least one of us wouldn't be surprised.
True. Very, very true. But then again, smiles to himself as he takes a drink. When Marcel is the more sympathetic figure out of the two, I think I know where I'm gonna stick with.
Funny thing, that isn't it?
It is. But I suppose pat Charlotte in the knee. In the end, just smile. In the end, you're right, Charlotte. You said it exactly all in one. Nobody gonna be surprised.
And if she is, I suppose that's on her, isn't it?
Such callous behavior, Charlotte. A couple of months ago, you would have punched me.
I don't think I've ever tried to punch you, Ryan.
Oh, but you like to. So either or she has burned you so bad, or you're playing a very good game.
Suppose it's one or the other. Like casual sip, that's none of my business.
You're not a good liar. You reveal too much. You got too much heart in you, girl.
I find transparency is usually to my benefit.
And unfortunately, this time I can read you like a cake.
Is that somehow not to my benefit?
No. Means you're predictable. It takes a drink. But then again, you're ditzy, so I always liked you that way.
Seem a lot of people here are into ditzy people.
You're ditzy because you're unpredictable. Predictability is often a factor, but the ditziness adds an unpredictability factor to it. You never know what you might say because you believe it that so earnestly. It's entertaining to watch from time to time.
There are worse things I could be than entertaining.
Oh, true. Oh, very true. But besides, you don't feel a sense of personal obligation to handle the business yourself, do you? Looks over quite, very casually, takes a sip.
And she kind of thinks about it for a second, kind of has the glass sat on the table edge, just idly twirling it, looking at it thoughtfully as she speaks. That very careful, I'm not looking anyone in the eyes as I say this, I'm just saying it to myself. I would never neglect my auspice duties, Raya, but perhaps it would do her some good to have to face the consequences of her own actions.
Oh, no, I
this
don't.
once.
Oh, sweetheart, I don't mean that.
Hmm?
Oh, I thought you'd be the one dishing out the consequences.
I'll be at least one person who is.
Oh, indeed. No, I just figured you, being the way you are, would like to take control over what dishes out and who dishes out the consequences. After all, I don't think you'd stop it. No, you're too sensible in your duty, which is a good thing. I thought you'd take a more personal touch to it.
Well, being in the loop means that whatever I do would probably be more suited, but perhaps now and again, allowing something to just be what it is isn't that bad.
Oh, sweetheart. He gives you this very sympathetic squeeze in the shoulder. And that's why our nation is suffering the way it is.
Looks a glance over, especially like at that sympathetic squeeze, because let's face it, usually Carves only touches her when he's trying to really rile her the fuck up, at least till now.
Sometimes change is all part of the process. Our tribe knows it better than anyone. Sometimes you gotta take the change and roll with it. And sometimes you gotta make sure that an old thing that was never gonna work gets changed or put to rest. That's the sacrifice all of our tribe make, every day, in our fight. And we never look back. Looking back means you're lamenting it. Worm doesn't take time to look back on what it does. Sometimes you gotta just take a bad thing, change it, or get rid of it. In the end, I figured you're just like me. Just maybe you haven't realized that yet. One day you will.
Depends on
'Cause
what
that's
way
what
you
being an
think
agent
we're alike.
leans over. You're just as driven as I am. And you'd do anything to get it. Not in the way I do, but you do anything to get what you want. Whether that's control, justice, solidarity, you'll take any and every measure to get it. I like that. Exactly like I am.
She finally tips up what remains of the martini because fuck it. She needs it. Finishes off the glass, taps it back down on the table, glances aside. You're not wrong.
Oh, well. You're not doing anything to get what you want now.
Am I
Let me
not?
give you some let me give you some advice. Some real advice. Probably one of the very few advices that people will actually give you in this world. Especially with the name and the reputation you've earned lately. You made all sorts of friends. The fact that she made you cost your name is something you can't afford to happen or let continue.
Oh, it won't continue. And it won't go
Oh, but
unpunished.
it will. You see, everybody's watching. Everybody always watches. Everybody's not going to say they're watching, but they always are. And she gets to frolic around, hiding away. And you let the consequences happen. Whatever consequences may come will come. But everyone will still remember what you didn't or did do. Because she ruined your name.
It's not ruining my name if I hold to what I agreed to. Just holding her to what she promised to do and making sure she remembered to keep doing it.
Well, but she didn't,
There
did
will
she?
be there will be consequences for slipping.
Is it a slip or is it a message?
Let's hope it's a slip so it doesn't go over my head.
You see, a slip is something you take your man aside and you twack him on the back of the hand for it. A slip is something you can control. Slips happen. Always happen. When you're dealing with the human mind and the group mind smashing together, slips are gonna happen. But when someone goes out of their way to make sure you don't know, that's not a slip anymore, Charlotte. That's undermining your authority.
I'm aware.
Oh, are you? Or are you denying yourself?
I am aware and I'm making sure that the punishment suits the crime, and that means the punishment requires extensive thought.
Punishment for what? You gonna make this public?
Yes, I
Oh,
am.
that's brave of you.
I
Very
made
brave.
my promise publicly, didn't I?
There's a difference between ranting into the stars how you couldn't keep an eye on your pack-mate and then taking something and putting on display so they know never to betray your trust again. There is a fine difference, Charlotte, between establishing your authority and making sure everybody knows how she undermined you. Sometimes action is better than any loud word you could ever do, and that's coming from a Galliard here, girl.
If everyone is watching, they'll see it.
Will they? He'll
I
lean
don't
in.
have to scream from the rooftop to make a point.
I wasn't talking about screaming. Pay attention, girl. He says kind of actually firm for the first time scolding you. Like his eyes kind of narrow. Pay attention, Charlotte. This is Adrian level shit. You want to be an Adrian, don't you?
Yeah?
And then pay attention and stop thinking. Thinking like a Foster and thinking like a Cleeth. Think. You don't have to scream nothing from no fucking rooftop. You don't scream anything from a rooftop unless it needs screaming. And by that point, you already had done your deed. That's when you start yelling. She undermined your authority. She undermined it big. Because I know, and we all fucking know, you wouldn't have allowed a Fury to go out like that. No fucking way. And I understand you were mission leader. Would you have really allowed an execution like that to take place?
I already know I wouldn't have.
So, the fact that she did this on the sly and away from you, you can, of course, give a public display. All fire and brimstone gets my balls in right in a tingle. What's good at it? If you make a public display and everybody knows that she messed you around, what's going to happen in the last public display she did? Oh, I know about that. Oh, Juno's word is so good. Public display didn't do shit. Did it? First chance she got, she ran off and did her own thing.
And she finally sits back and takes a second to make sure she's got her shit ratcheted down to the level it needs to be at. Because the point isn't to be confrontational. So what's the risk of bringing it to everyone's attention if everyone's already watching and knows?
Everybody's already watching and knows, but you bring it to everybody's attention. They're just going to wait for Juno to do what she does best and contradict yourself. Because you've publicly made sure that everybody sees it and everybody holds it in scrutiny. You only publicly show something when you know you have already guaranteed the outcome.
Unless there is a Philodox higher ranking than I am in her pocket, I don't see that she can do anything about it.
But this is not nothing to do with no Philodox business. This is undermining your authority that you need to handle. There is a difference. And how do you know she doesn't have somebody in her pocket? Confident enough to undermine you? Do you know that for 100% certainty?
She just kind of eyeballs him for a second. And like you can see, she's literally going through a checklist in her head.
Oh, if you knew, you would have told me already, girl.
Almost like you made a point of making me doubt it.
I'm a Galliard. I like to back up my facts with truths. Ain't no ragabash. But a Galliard knows every detail of the thing he's bringing you. And if you're doing something like that, you better have every detail ready. Because it is my job to know every detail, and it's a ragabash's job to question every detail. I'm just giving you some advice. Because you know what? I've heard all the things you say about me. I've heard all the things that most people say about me. But we are Glasswalkers, girl. And you know what? I like you in some way. You're just like I was when I was little. I'm going to give you some advice. It's good of an agent to give others advice. Make the statement. You don't have to raise no hand, lift no voices. Make the statement to her. Make sure she understands. And let her walk around and see what happens. Show her who is really in power in your relationship. And she will never step out of line again. Marcel could beat me 7 ways from Sunday, and I know it. Yet he doesn't lift a word finger to me. Not once, not ever. Why is that?
Very good question. He actually makes a point of taking a glance over because To be fair, she doesn't imagine that Marcel has much drive to. But she's wondered.
Because I hold his heart and his soul in my hands. Because he knows he lifts one hand and I'll take everything he has away with my fingers. He knows I have the power in it all. He knows. He tries. Well, that's it. Game over. All the support, all the good thing, every last detail taken away. And he would have done it all himself. Force my hand. Never make someone, never force your hand on someone. Make them force your hand. That's the key.
I can't think of a much stronger way she could have forced my hand.
And now she has. You lean in. But you've already publicly tried and she's done it. Now it's time to take it out of the box and put it to rest. Now's the time to be ruthless, Charlotte Sullivan. Because she's made you be ruthless. And Carves rolls his dice. You ready, Katie?
God.
Are you ready?
Oh no, what's he rolling?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8 successes on a charisma leadership.
Jesus Christ.
That's his dice. That's no pure breed or anything. That's his dice.
I mean, he doesn't have pure breed. So she's
Nope.
had like 2 nights, but that's still. She didn't have enough willpower in the world to not be influenced by that.
Actually, sorry, that's manipulation leadership. There you go. Wrong dice pool.
I was going to say, I hope it's manip.
That's manip. Manip 5, subterfuge, leadership 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's Charlotte. She continues to be very clearly listening, very clearly thinking hard about what he's saying. And assessing everything he's saying, but not denying any of it. He's definitely planted a seed. Whether or not he can see it is, I suppose, up to you.
I'll roll this empathy. Ready for that fucking mad pool?
I'll fucking sub you. I don't even care. She's trying to keep that shit flat.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that's
Oh, God.
3 successes anyway. Actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4 successes because it's 6.
Jesus. I doubt I can beat it, but I'll give it a shot. No.
Nope.
Not even close.
Smiles. Like I said, Charlotte, I like you. It's always good to make sure a budding seed grows. I hope you do well. I'm rooting for you.
No, I can't not perception empathy. I know I can't beat his pool if he's rolling, but...
Oh, he's totally rolling, sweetie. Oh,
I know he is, but I have to roll it. I need to.
Oh, boy.
How could he ever not roll that pool just to trot it out?
1.
Those fucking ones! What is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
That's not even fair. Look at that shit. I didn't even get 1 success.
He looks so genuine and so like a father figure, you know? He really means that. From the bottom of his heart.
From the bottom of This withered black card. Again, she's trying to keep completely fucking flatline on it, but yeah, it's not like it doesn't influence her response or how she processes it.
And at
Just
that
not.
key moment, as he clinks glasses with you, Katie, perfectly like, oh, you know what I mean? Ignore the gun, but he'll the Shadow's Web walks in.
I mean, this is a pretty. I mean, I suppose for Glasswalkers, this is reasonably formal. Not a board meeting, but still, the same polite nod.
Thank you all for coming. Now,
First round.
it's brought to my attention that certain members of our collective have been wiped out. We've also got a High Weaver presence. Some more concerted Weaver presence in the city. Currently, one of the new Glasswalker Cleats is missing. Not taken by anything that's exterminating the kin, no. This has been Weaver based. Now, you lay out the folders on the table, and it is the same folders that you have, Charlotte, that you got off Anton, is the information on all the current information that they have on this guy called Deimos Lives.
I'm assuming she still gets a copy of it, just on the off chance.
Oh, yeah.
She will, like, when it is appropriate to flip through it, will eagerly do so to see if there is anything. I mean, she flicks through in a way that I imagine if Carves is still there and keeping an eye on her, it's pretty clear that she recognizes and flicks past 90% of it, just kind of looking to see if there's anything in there that she hasn't already processed through.
You do see this approached a lot more in the folder now. They have actually like current location, which seems to be Italian restaurant on the east side of Duluth. There's been a few snaps of him coming in and out at the middle of the night. And that was taken a week ago.
It vibrates in Glasswalker. I don't know.
Now, some of this information you all probably know, but that man was seen about a week ago coming in. That man is a leech. He seems to be looking for specific apartments in the eastern side of the area. I know that's your territory, Carves, but you've been recently taking a lot of kin in the area. For Charlotte, that is exactly where Carves mentions that Felix was in. Oh boy. He seems to be trying to look. Now, thankfully to our Mr. Carves the Path over here, that information has been difficult to obtain. But that means they're poking their heads out. Now, we've got two ghouls. That's what they call their servants or some bullshit. Points to two photos.
Yep, she will flick through to look at the appropriate photos.
Panic looking with kind of dark hair. I'll get them for you now. And a man with a more blondish brown type of style about him. Seems to be, walking beside the guy, chatting furiously in his ear.
Is either one the one she saw the night that they attacked that apartment?
No.
It's not?
Nope.
Is his picture in there anywhere?
But that was at one of the parties, and it's one of the camera stills where he emerged, and then the blackness image, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep, just a lot of very thoughtful lip chewing as she's flicking through and eyeballing the fuck out of those photos. She's trying to commit them to memory. Still listening, but that's where her eyes are.
So here, I put the side shot is woman 1. Woman 1, as you say, the woman works as, from what I can tell, banking. Seems to have been extorting a lot of money out lately. Banking where you go in and you pay your deposit. Under the table, money to clean type shit.
Okay.
The man is the enforcer. Looks like to be head of an organized crime, and essentially.
In the case of the guy studying the photo, does he have any of the same telltale little signs or marks or whatever that she's seen from any of the biker groups in the area?
No. This looks more.
Damn it.
This looks way more like organized suits. You know what I mean?
Corporate. Corporate crime.
Yeah.
All right.
Imager's being fucking slow, so I have to grab it from somewhere else.
Okay.
There you go.
All right then.
And yeah, and he kind of will just turn and nod. So whatever these two are, they seem to be importing more of the. I'm not sure if he's working for him or we don't know yet the other one. The other one is definitely a leech, but we don't know what anything about it. Paler. You know what I mean?
Sorry, you were cutting in and out a little bit and like pausing. So
sorry. He'll say that those two are attached to the black-haired one. He has been reported, thanks to some investigation done by Charlotte and a few others of the Shadow Lord variety, as being a leech. The pale one that we've been seeing, that's the mainly the one killing people at these parties, is definitely a leech, but we know nothing about what he is, who he is, where the fuck he is. The only thing we know is that since the last incident, which occurred with Charlotte, Siege Engine, and Perfidy, there's been a large increase in exports from Greece coming in. We're talking weapons, we're talking people. And by the looks of things, since this incident, we're not sure if it's the same man, but we definitely know that kin are going missing and he's targeting. How does he know they're ours? We reckon he's either taken a kin or he had somebody or has somebody working on the inside. Which is tough because that means we're going to have to start suspecting things, or he has been using a kin for information.
in the reports they have there, it says he's not sure of the link. Is there mention of the fact that during her last encounter, she did see both of them in the same place and knows damn well that they are tied together?
There's no mention of that particular detail. That's something Shadow Lords only gave you.
I mean, she was there. and saw
Yeah,
him in
yeah,
the fucking car.
yeah. No mention of that.
Yeah, she'll take a moment when he says, we're not sure what the connection is, and flick through the notes to see if it has somehow skipped notice. And when she realizes it has, we'll just briefly kind of lift a finger, like waiting for a moment, waiting until she's called on.
You click his fingers. Yo.
I can confirm that at the very least the two know of each other and potentially work together during the attack that I was present for. The one in the still here was the one who made the attack, but the other was waiting in the vehicle.
Interesting. Good, good. The blonde one, the pale blonde one. That's the one we've been most worried about. We found another crime scene. Turns to everybody. Everyone's kind of looks up then like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a bit of a scrunched face.
I found it first. It is untouched and no police are coming, no anything. Before we would have found it too late. I had a hunch. One of our Glasswalker kin has not been tabbing in. I searched through over 250 files and found one. Connected right to the office of. Turns and looks right at perfidy. Alex is missing. She'll nod gravely. Now, I want Perfidy and Siege Engine to go around sweeping out the usual dens, usual areas, take no precautions. Carves, you've got the security and muscle to take us around there. Runs, I want you in the Umbra. Charlotte, you're with me.
There's a firm nod of compliance.
We're going to go into that crime scene and investigate. I'm going to put Runs and Charlotte together. Carves and I will handle any of the other business. Police presence is going to come up, so you leave that to me and him.
Another firm nod.
Runs and Perfectly are your backup. They'll be doing a lot of snooping around the area. We never know what these things they like to linger and watch. At all costs, do these two people we point at the humans, like the clear area ones that have marked human, are these people to be brought in alive if they're present? All costs. If not, we're going to work on ways to capture them. Or at least remove them. These leashes are nothing without their human connections.
And yet another, like she is doing the brisk, like attentive nod at each point.
All right. There are guns in the back room. You know what to do. Load up. Don't bring anything too fucking obvious. Looks at Siege Engine. And so what are you going to get? Go get, Charlotte.
She'll go and see if they have the kind of body holsters. And I mean, she's shameless enough that she will know she'd just unbutton the denim jacket, strap them on underneath. Probably snag two. She's ambidextrous. It might be worth it. Or it might just be worth it to have the second fucking magazine, essentially. And we'll strap herself up and then rebutton the top.
Okay. You guys begin to head out. Shadow's Web drives, Carves in the front seat, Runs in the back seat. Perfectly and Siege Engine get into their own car. It's a very eerie drive.
Yeah, it's just Charlotte sitting back and thinking about every detail she can recall of the previous encounter.
And eventually you pull up onto a street, much that looks like this. He'll point up to... Shadow's Web will point up to the top apartment complex.
There's kind of a just the nose wrinkle. Room number?
Number 416. Hands her the apartment key. Like,
Oh.
literally hands her the key.
That was about to be her next question. Yeah, she'll snag it. Pitch it in her pocket. Glance over to see if Runs is even still on this side of the fucking gauntlet.
Gone. He'll turn to you guys and say, I'll be at the other side, Charlotte. I'll pop in as necessary.
She just gives the first little nod, like, gotcha. And yeah, just does kind of the cursory pocket pat to like make sure all of her shit's on her. And yeah, as soon as she's sure that she's clear to go, we'll ask if there's any sort of check-in process, anything she needs to be observing, and we'll hop out the car.
Yeah, if there's any check-in process, he'll just say, as long as you have the key, you're good.
She nods. And she will take a moment actually to plug her earbuds into her phone and stick one in one ear so that she still has proper hearing. But enough to make sure that if anything does go off, it's not going to make a noise that anyone else can really hear. And yeah, just hops out the car. You know, looks both ways before crossing the street, shoves her hands in her pockets, and clearly just goes like she's going to go to her apartment.
Yep, you walk in, you kind of come through very easily, you know what I mean? Like, boom, 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 boom. Guy doesn't pay any mind. Once you have the key, you're in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Just casually walks in like she's going home.
He seems to just nod at you like, huh, oh yeah, no, hey. You know, as he's walking in, as you take the elevator up.
Yep.
Go to floor number 4. Corridors again. It's very eerie, very quiet, very nice, peaceful little night. You open the door. You know, you don't hear anything. When you open the door, however, you walk in and close it. When you turn your head slowly, the blood spatter on the center wall has Damios lives written on the side of the wall. It's kind of like that long corridor with 2 rooms on the left, 2 rooms on the right, and another door open, which you assume leads to the small kitchen. And written right on that center wallway, there, right at the end of the hallway, is Damios lives.
Yep. She will actually initially flick up the flashlight app on her phone so she doesn't, trip over corpses or anything like that. And we'll actually take a second to not just clear each room, but make sure any blinds or whatever are closed before she goes flicking on lights.
You do. Take your time. You walk in, as you kind of walk along the corridors, checking the rooms. You open the first door in the room. Dead. A woman that has blonde hair, same color as yours.
And just for the sake of having it said, she'll be pulling the sleeve down over her hand before she hits doorknobs and whatnot.
Same hair color as yours. Ripped to pieces. Like, I mean, there's blood everywhere, but her corpse almost looks weird. It looks like there's no blood in her at all.
So she's torn up, but there's like almost no blood spatter or blood on her.
Yeah.
She will pretend that that's normal until she gets a look at the other bodies for comparison's sake.
They've been cut in several places where blood has leaked out and spattered everywhere. But themselves, no blood.
Here's the question. Are any of them savaged as bad as the blonde one?
No.
Awesome.
What you do notice is their eyes are all pointed at one direction, and on each part of the wall is Damios lives.
Yeah, she will start going through. Every time she's checked her room, make sure the shutters were completely closed, everything was shut. We'll flick on the light in that room. We'll take a series of photos and try really hard not to lose her lunch.
When you go into the woman with the blonde woman in it, the thing that she's pointed at, the language is very foreign. Written in very... Yeah, it's a very foreign language. It's foreign language, essentially. It's
Is there
written in.
any way I can get an idea, like recognize the lettering as
Give
something
me
foreign?
an academics check.
Okay. Is it intelligence academics?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can figure out at least which language it is. I did say things were coming from Greece. It's only one success.
So this is what actually I have the word here for you for what it says.
Mm-hmm. Like,
And
out of character, I have no idea what language that's supposed to be.
it is Greek.
Okay.
One successfully, I was about to tell you, that's Greek.
Yeah. That'll get a brown it when it's a different word.
There is a when you when you kind of come in a bit more, if you get me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you stare at it and it's weird. The word underneath.
Sorry, you kind of warped out again for a second.
When you come into the room, again on that center wall, there is another word underneath the initial word you see.
I mean, she quickly snaps a shot of the one and then kind of gets a little closer to see what the other is. Is it just written much smaller?
Yes. No, it's written in the same type of lettering. It's just the angle of which it's written in. It's almost like it's connected like a dot, like a branching dot towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that word, what it looks like is this again, similar style.
Yeah, she'll kind of brown it, snag a photo of both, and then into whatever Glasswalker chat type thing they have. We'll just type in as she's glancing around and potentially moving to the next of the rooms. Just type in anyone speak Greek.
Hello.
Uh, with your luck, I'll say hi.
You hear runs typing in. You know he has his phone in the fucking Umbra. He's a
Yeah, he
theurge.
does.
Yeah. Yes.
She will put the photo in the chat.
I think they're the Greek words for terror and wrath.
Her reply is summarized in awesome. Yep. She's making sure she gets thorough photos of even the bodies, of everything that's damaged, everything that looks like it's been moved, trying to get full panoramics of the rooms.
Give me a perception investigation check particularly if you're coming near the body.
Oh yeah.
Because the body is marked. But I'll give you a perception investigation to see if you can
Okay.
further examine.
That's 3.
3 is enough to see the lettering. That is written on splayed along different patterns of her body, so it all adds up into the long writing. Someone would have to be very precise with blade work to be able to get it to align so much with that kind of layering and that type of positioning as well.
I was gonna say it's carved around so that it only reads when she's in the position she's in, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a grimace. Again, carefully pulling the sleeve down over her hand will move things a little bit to make sure it's clear enough for her to take a photo of it. And yeah, she'll try to frame it up so there's not unnecessary everything else. She only really needs the word. Here's a question. Those carved letters, were they before or after she was bleeding? Or I guess before she stopped bleeding or after she stopped bleeding?
After.
So there's no blood in them to highlight them or anything.
Nope.
Yeah, she will just try to very carefully make sure she gets the right angle so that there's a little bit of shading on the carved marks. And we'll enhance if necessary before putting it in the chat. And this one?
There's like a 2-minute delay. You reckon he's trying to read and transcribe. Power.
And yet again, her reply is awesome.
The Umbra's weird here. Shadows. Lots of shadow spirits.
Considering the way they black out cameras, I don't know if I'm even surprised.
They've been saying that it's not their shadow it makes, but something else. Something darker.
Are they pissed enough to help?
They're afraid.
Well, shit. She's probably like doing, talk to text as she's moving around the apartment. Again, going into every room, investigating thoroughly, taking a lot of photos, and yeah, just trying to make sure she doesn't miss anything important. She's also keeping an eye for fucking cameras and shit because Glasswalker, even though that doesn't seem to be a thing these guys do, though if there was cameras already somewhere on the premises, these guys obviously don't give a shit about getting caught by them. So there might be something useful.
There is a camera system in that woman's bedroom. You do see.
Oh boy, I will go ahead and make sure I have chronicled the rest of the disarray, so I don't have to go back and do it after. And then I'll go see if I can figure out where the fucking cameras wire back to.
That bedroom.
Yeah. I mean, that bitch is dead. So there's no reason to hesitate going in there.
Yeah, it's a lovely little laptop screen.
She's not going to worry as much about fingerprints because she is stealing this. Like, hands down.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking at it now or are you waiting for later?
Oh, no, I'll go ahead and take a glance at it now, see if it's easy to crack into, see if there's a password.
You click it. And what makes it even more fucking eerie, it was already off a loading screen. Do you know what I mean when you've left the computer on for a couple of minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Like the black comes up? Yeah, exactly like that.
So it's not even locked, it's just been sitting idle.
Yeah.
Awesome. Out of curiosity, she will check to see what the settings are set for and how long it takes before it goes properly to sleep.
They'd adjust the settings so it would be idle for a long fucking time. Like hours.
That's reassuring, because if it was like within a half hour, she would have to start worrying right now.
An hour at the most, they've said it.
Oh. Great. Yeah, she'll queue up the talk to text again as she's fucking with the computer a little hastily to see if the feed is still live. And just be like, the laptop is sitting here idle. It's only set to go idle for maybe an hour before it goes to sleep.
Yeah,
Not liking it.
Shadow Web replies, I only found this place about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, thank God.
That wasn't me who fucked with the laptop. I just came in, saw the bodies, gathered everybody.
Well, hopefully it was before you came by. Yeah. Keeps tapping around to see if there is a live feed, if it's actively recording and storing. What's going on here?
So you got a live feed.
Oh, great.
That's the first thing you see on the screen. Looking right into one of the cameras, like, buh!
That is, that thing you do where you don't quite make a noise, but you kind of jolt in place and get really fucking tense? She fucking does that and has to, like, close her eyes for a second and be like, okay. That's fucked up. Snaps a picture of the screen.
You do.
Because she's an asshole and wants to make sure.
You do.
Is he like
it's like he's coming out of the shadow.
Is he blinking? Like, is this obviously an active feed?
Nope.
Is there any motion at all?
No, what's weird is it's an active feed, but he's just stock fucking still. Doesn't blink. Doesn't breathe. Doesn't even breathe. Air just artificial.
Oh, she's just gonna really quickly check to see if the feed into the room is still alive.
It is.
The one for the room that she's in?
No.
Okay.
You do see his image pop up in the other room, though, the kitchen.
Like the kitchen of the apartment that she is in right now.
Mm-hmm.
She just taps her phone and says, I am so fucked right now.
Why? What's wrong?
There's a live feed into the kitchen. Sends through the photo she just took. It's keeping her eye, like keeping one eye on the fucking laptop screen, keeping one eye on her fucking phone, like, because the second he moves, she needs to fucking panic. As long as he's staring at that camera and that camera's feeding live, she is alive.
You just hear, like we're on the way. You hear runs like I'm fucking. You know what I mean? Like you hear someone struggling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's just very quietly
Give me a
trying not to have a panic attack.
give me a perception alertness.
Uh huh. I could do that. Like she is about 2 seconds from straight shitting herself. That is either 7 or 8 successes, depending on whether or not I guess it's attentive. Yeah, attentive applies.
The door to your room opens.
Yep, time to shit herself. She is going to close the laptop, and she is going to pull one of the guns and try to tuck the laptop with one hand while whirling with the other. Like she has accepted in her heart she's about to die.
You turn right there, but the last thing you see when you turn the laptop, his face is still in the screen. You turn and he's right there.
Charlotte has never been so pale in her life as she is right now.
And as you turn to lift your handgun, he will roll his dice. He has a decent amount of dice. Your willpower is that.
Oh, my willpower is shit right now.
Yep, and it's current.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
There's no need for that. Drop the gun.
Man, it seems like such a good idea to drop this gun right now. Even though she has it. Yep. Live gun gets dropped.
I merely wanted to say hello. If I wanted to kill you, I would have done it already. Tell your friends everything's fine. Rolls again. You want to? I think.
Yeah, she completely involuntarily just reaches down and taps the thing so it, like the through the pocket button tap says everything's fine. As she's like kind of slowly backpedaling to the opposite side of the room. I'm taking rage out of fear.
Oh yeah.
Because I have to. Which means I have to make a silly roll. A1s.
Just shitting yourself though, because my God.
Oh, she is. Don't you worry. She is like just having this most strangely silent like panic attack of her fucking life.
Now we're not interrupted, are we?
So I have a question for you, Torna. He has told her to say it's fine. So she had to do it. Can she immediately turn around and be like, oh my God, he is making me do shit, please, for the love of God, save me?
If you want to take out your phone in front of him, yeah, you can try. You can try. You just gotta beat his perception.
I mean, yeah, she will just keep the one hand on the pocket. And just continue the backpedal until she hits like a wall or a corner. With the laptop still like tucked like in a death grip under her arm, like it is the only safe thing in the world because it's what she happens to be holding right now.
Let's see, does he spot you? His empathy is not too bad. Well, the phone. Rolls his dice. Give it to me.
She makes a pitiful fucking noise. Because there are things in that phone case that she treasures. And her phone, which she also treasures. And she starts, I imagine she can't really defy it or slow acid or anything. She has to do the thing. So, yeah, she just makes a pathetic noise, pulls it out of her pocket, and wraps her headset around it. And honestly, I'm not sure she's going to actually walk forward to give it to him. She just kind of underhands it to him.
You underhand it, and he'll just... I mean, he takes it, but he moves and is back where he was. You know what I mean?
What does he do?
He moves like a click of the finger. Bam.
To where?
Right back where he was.
Where was he before?
He was there, and then he wasn't there, and now he's back again. It's like you blinked, and he was right back in with the phone in your hand.
Yeah, she'll just quietly try not to shit herself. She has no idea what the fuck just happened, except that she's pretty sure he moved.
Never liked these things. Always so difficult. Puts the phone on the little dresser beside him. Now I can talk. I do remember you from last time. Don't you remember me? Or perhaps is it the accent? I do enjoy talking like this every now and again. Imitating that buffoon you call a friend is quite fun.
There's just the slow nod.
But really, I talk like this. And I mean, that accent changes. While I may not be good at it, his goes from flawless upper class English to perfect Greek. Boom, that Greek accent.
Yep. She is gonna stay nicely wedged in this beautiful, friendly corner. And will at least go so far as to have the presence of mind to like kind of drop her eyes to like collarbone level, but she is not for the love of God gonna look away from him. And is gonna just quietly hyperventilate and listen to what he's saying and hope that it's a good enough message that he wants it to go somewhere, because if not, she's fucked.
Are you not going to reply to me? Or are you too afraid to reply?
She settles for just I'm going to actually roll willpower because that seems like the most fair thing to do. She just kind of lightly shakes her head.
Are you scared? Tell me truly, I'll know.
There's a jaw clench. She doesn't want to tell the horrifying man that she's scared of him. And she's not going to lie, because he'll get mad. No, she just stays there, keeping like the peripheral eye on him, or the indirect eye on him. Just jaw clenches, like nope, 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 nope.
He just extends his hand with a flick of a wrist. And this big, long, black tendril literally comes out of his back and just snakes up towards you and forces you to lift your chin. And that's some...
I'm not gonna lie. I think if that thing comes at her, she is gonna like mad scramble away from it. It's not composed at all.
Like, it pushes you against the wall and lifts your chin. And the strength behind it is astonishing. Like, as strong as you and Krynos, you know, that type of strength.
Oh, I believe it. I just figured it was worth saying that she's gonna end up in the same place either way, but she doesn't except that with Grace. She, like, does the panicked, like, cornered animal thing and tries to get the fuck away from it before it gets around her.
You lupines and your stubborn pride. Always so irritating.
I'm just gonna take another rage out of fucking sheer terror.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am tentacled right now. That thing is, like, ice cold, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm just gonna... Thank God.
You lupines and your stubborn pride. Think you can waltz on in here and take what you want? From who? Did you really think Noah was me? Or was it perhaps the feigned beautiful smile? I did change how I look. It is quite fun. Even for a day. But then you irritated me, or more amused me, if anything. You're probably wondering right now why I've not killed you, and perhaps people would laugh at me for waffling. Perhaps I like to take enjoyment out of the things I kill before I kill them. But I've come here to give you a message. Or an offer, depending on your view. I will only offer it once. I am from the old world, and I believe in offering a capable servant, a capable offer. Do you understand?
There's a tiny frantic nod because she is horrified.
I am offering services, if you'll accept. All you need to do is kneel. I could make you kneel, but that's not fun. That is, that's something for them, the meat sacks. But we're not them, are we?
Another very frantic, very small shake of the head.
That is why I'll give you an offer. Kneel. And you will be given things that your wildest dreams cannot answer. You will be given security, safety. You will be given all that you want in life and in death. Refuse. I will not kill you now. No. That is a task of lesser men. But I will hunt you. I will take from you everything you love. Whether it is their lives, souls, or minds. I will take everything from you. And then I will kill you. So choose. Kneel or stand against me.
I'm assuming the thing goes to put her down.
Right, gently. But again, you feel that firm grip off your throat.
For what it is, I don't know what kind of perception he does or doesn't have, but she is like she's like well on her way to a cardiac event right now. I am going to roll her barely existent willpower to see how well she handles this. Not so good. So the thing goes to set her down, and it's kind of laughable because she doesn't kneel, but she doesn't really succeed at standing up either. At this point, like, the rage equivalent of terror is at, like, what? She's at, like, 5 going on 6. Her knees literally just go to jello. Goes and it sets her down, and she just kind of collapses.
But are you in a kneeling position? That is a very, very fucking important detail.
She is not really. It's just like it's pretty clear this isn't her like choosing to take a knee. This is her like literally just kind of trying to stand up and then falling onto her ass when her knees just give out.
Oh, look at you. How fitting. Take a rage.
Yep.
That was some humiliating shit. Take a rage.
Yep. I'm just gonna roll this. I'm gonna check the moon phase so I know whether or not this goes horribly awry. Set for the right month. It is not the day of or immediately following, so it's in 6/5, not 4. Okay. Nope. She does not fox frenzy somehow. She's like vibrating with terror, but she can't run.
Walk forward a couple of steps. Dum, dum. Arms clasped behind his back. All you love and prize shall fall for your choice. Remember that. Do you want to know what I first thought of you when I met you?
You know what? It's the most placating little nod of like, yes, please keep talking.
Reckless pride, limbed by self-righteousness. In the end, he moves, boom, hits you like a fucking freight train up against that wall with his hand up on your throat. And his strength is, I'll put it this way, he buffed to strength 6, potence 4. Strength
I'm
10.
just trying to sit here and waffle between like my character would do this, but that would be potentially suicidal. Because she is scared shitless, and when he slams into her, you know what? There's no one in this apartment but them. And she wants to live. So, hilariously, with the strength and potency he has, it might not help. But I'm not going to lie to myself and say she wouldn't do it. He slams her against the wall and she'll spend the rage. She goes Krynos out of sheer fucking shock and terror.
Oh,
She can't
boy.
really attack him per se. I guess she can out of fear, but like, it's just defense mechanism. She wants to be bigger than he is, and she wants to not be afraid of him. This is
Do you want
the
to know
best
something
knee jerk.
incredibly scary for a Krynos? When you take the
She's
war
still
form,
pinned against the wall.
there are 9 tentacles out of his back that literally bind your arms as he holds you by the throat. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. That's okay. That rage she spent is back again. It's fine. I've. Whew.
You lupines. So stubborn. Misdirected passion. And he licks his lips and that's fangs. Jagged fangs.
I don't. Oh boy, I was gonna say I don't know how well she can do anything about it, or if spending rage makes any difference. But she is going to be writhing and thrashing and snarling, potentially snapping at him. Not that it's going to help because I know what grappled means, and it means she can't bite, but he can.
This is what I'll take from you to remind you of the choice you made. Thump! And Charlotte, you scream. You can't help it. As he takes 2 blood points from you because Grip of the Damned is a hell of a fucking flaw.
It is a hell of a flaw, and she is in Krynos. That's not screaming.
Mm-hmm.
That is piercing, pained, like agonized howling.
He's fine. He takes out and he actually slumps you down to the ground. You kind of ride down onto the ground, relaxing into Hamid because that whole process is just traumatizing for the kiss. As he licks his lips, almost shudders, like, remember that when I take it all from you. And he spends 5 blood points. Rolls this. Shit, I'd love to do this. He vanishes, literally fades into shadow, into this wispy shadow, and just out of the room.
Does he even bother to lick it shut again?
No. You have 2 ag.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I feel like she is going to be sitting there in shock for a good couple seconds before she finds the presence of mind. And honestly, as stupid as it sounds, will scramble for her phone, like yanking the headset thing out of it and just dialing in again. Like, guys, please. Like,
First
immediately scrambles back into the corner type thing.
First one through the door is these 2. Like, perfectly sprints over to you, siege engine, like, each house, you know what I mean? It's perfectly covered in blood. She's like, holds a wound in her side and she'll kneel down.
Yeah, Charlotte is so fucking huddled in the corner,
Hey,
like shaking and tear streaked,
come on,
clutching her phone and the laptop.
I got you. Come on. Perfectly like hefts you up again, like, you know, kind of commando carries you. Come on.
Yeah, she'll respond to it. Perfidy is a safe person. The Kling though, Kling is so real.
Yeah, she just nodded siege engine. No, just pictures real quick. She holds you out to her bike and just puts you on it, and she's driving like a fucking maniac down the street.
Yeah, she just clutches on, then hides her face in Perfidy's back and goes back to fucking crying about it because she can't do anything else about it. She doesn't have anything left in the tank.
She perfectly drives you to this small apartment, quickly like unlocks the keys, you know, kind of gets you off, carries you in and closes the door, carries you up the stairs, kicks open the door. It's like this functional apartment. Nothing fancy, just functional. There's a shit ton of knives and guns around the place. She just closes the door, locks it, sets you down very carefully.
Yeah,
all right.
Charlotte is still death gripping a phone and a laptop to her chest.
This is a safe zone. I mean, look at that wound.
There's a very numb little nod. She doesn't want to look at it.
Oh, honey. She'll walk over, break off this part of her phone.
Wait, what?
She breaks off a part, like holds out her phone essentially, like clicks it up essentially.
Oh, okay.
And does this. Thankfully, she kind of frowns a bit and will just nod to herself. All right, I'll try that again in a minute. Here. She reaches into her, like, the kind of military bag she has and extends these small little kind of military wraps. Opens it and poof, Gaia's breath, which heals the 2 of the ag off.
No, not shit.
And then again, she'll roll for this roll because I actually rolled 2 little dice for her. It's 6,500. And she proceeds to do a rite of cleansing on you.
I mean, she doesn't even. She's not going to protest. She's just shook and sitting there, scrubbing at her face, trying to calm down, failing.
You see flecks of blood on Perfety's like kind of robot type thing hand. We got shut up.
What?
It appears whoever wanted to have a conversation with you made sure we were busy. Runs had to double back. We got rid of them. There was no.
In the apartment.
We swept that place.
Camera still showed him in the kitchen when he came in the room.
Fuck.
It was a live feed. I checked it.
How did he get in?
I don't know.
What did he want?
She starts kind of like doing that half meltdown face. Yeah. You wanted me to take the knee. Like, it's that, you know, when you're so fucking panicked, like there's almost like a manic edge. It's like, oh, it's almost funny if you think about it. Huh. Yeah. There's, in straight disbelief, there's a little bit of a grin. He wanted me to take a knee. And I couldn't even stand up.
Jeez. Touches your face. Hey.
And now he's going to take everything.
He's not.
He's already taking what's ours.
Well, we're going to get him back. Because we're not going to let the worm win, are we?
She just kind of shakes her head. Oh.
Because are you Charlotte Sullivan or are you somebody else?
She almost looks confused by the question.
Because if you're the Charlotte Sullivan I think you are, you're going to be fucking driven as fuck to get him.
But I can't even watch him on a camera. I can't keep him out of a house.
Well, we're going to start ways to figure that out, aren't we?
How did he trick the camera? She's just like rubbing her face like, I don't know what to do. Like, she's obviously having like a small meltdown.
Hefts you up. Come on. You're getting some sleep.
Sleep? How am I gonna sleep? I can't sleep.
Picks her up. Carries her into the room. Pops in
She's picked up.
Pops in the little kind of army jacket she has and opens up like a little like medicine container. Flicks it open. Pours one out. It'll knock you out cold.
Let me do one thing first. Real fast.
Okay.
She picks up her phone and just kind of prays to herself as she goes to turn it on. Like, please let everything still be there. Because he did a thing where he moved, but then he was back. But he still had my phone and I don't know what's happening.
Phone's still on as if it was never touched. He just took it and put it on the table.
It was just that when he caught it, he did something fucking hella fast and she couldn't catch what it was. So yeah, she just kind of like goes to send messages, actually like opens the thing up and then waits a second, goes back to the home screen, holds it out to Perfidy. Can you check if it's clean any better than I can?
Fix the phone. About 5 minutes of typing. It's completely fine.
Okay. And yeah, she quickly like opens up two messengers, one begging Felix, like telling him like she just had a really bad encounter. Please, please, please sleep on Sep tonight.
He just goes, yeah, sure.
And another one to her dad, like, Dad, shit's bad. Please be
Your phone
super safe.
Your phone begins to ring.
She don't even think about it. She just autopilot answers it. Set up to her ear.
What do you mean shit's bad?
There's someone really fucking dangerous who wants to take everything I give a shit about. And you're pretty high on the list.
What do you mean?
She kind of glances up. Is Perfidy still like right there in the room?
Nah, she looks like she's getting stuff. You can actually hear her opening the fridge.
Oh, thank God. Dad, it's a leech. It's like a vampire that
I know
can
what it is.
disappear and appear in places and trick cameras, and I can't
know
even.
what it is, sweetheart.
How do you know what it is?
That's not important. Are you in trouble?
Hold on, let me roll the willpower real fast, because that's her daddy. This magnificent. Well, I got Satan. I dare say her diff's kind of high right now. So
I imagine. I mean, yeah, it depends on what that diff is.
it's higher than that. You know what? He says, "Are you in trouble?" And she just starts like crying.
All right then. I want you to get yourself safe. Give me a day. You're gonna meet with me, and we're gonna talk about something.
There is that I'm not crying, snuffling happening, and she's nodding, which he can't see, but she's doing it. And after a bit of snuffling, it's like, yeah, okay.
I want you to make sure you're nice and safe. You get some sleep. That's very important.
I'm gonna. I just wanted to make sure you would be okay.
I am fine. That thing has no hope of finding me.
Okay.
But what I need you to do is get some sleep.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Let
I'll be
her face.
and I'll be around in the morning. And we and you are gonna have a talk.
Where?
I'll message you in the morning.
Okay. It's more like loud snuffling. She has seen too much over the last week, and tonight is nope. No chill.
Bring all the information you have on it.
Okay.
If I know this leech, it'll have human friends.
It does.
Good. Bring them.
Okay.
Bring anything you have.
Just please be careful.
Don't worry about me. Get some sleep, sweetheart. Dunk.
Yeah, it clicks, and by the time Perfidy comes back around, she'll be like, holding the phone kind of loosely in one hand, a little more relaxed, rubbing at her face with the other hand, like clearing up the tears and the bleh and the. Has finally set the laptop off to the side.
Perfectly hands you tea.
She just takes it. She doesn't even ask what it is.
You're asleep within 2 minutes. Just poof.
Dung!
Perfect rolls you in the bed, tucks you in, wraps you up like a burrito, and goes and closes the door. As
Okay.
the camera pans out, as Sketch hangs up the phone, it's on the phone again, rolls around in the chair. Yeah, I know it's been forever. But someone's made it personal, so we need to go to Duluth. Yeah. He loads the shotgun and heads out. This is where the scene will end.